Hello and welcome to the how to play video for Foxtrot. Here I'm going to be going over the rules, showing some of the gameplay, and talk about next steps. So this game is a 15-minute strategy dice game for 2 players. I designed it about 36 hours ago for the one-card print and play design contest on Board Game Geek. I've already gotten a lot of good feedback, but I thought I'd make a video to get even more feedback and show you how the game plays. So I've got the rules here. This is version 24.5.15 that usually coincides with the date. So just notate that if you see later versions and some rules have changed since it is pretty early in the design. But yeah, I thought we'd follow along with the rules. I kind of show you how to play and go from there. All right, so let me move these kind of aside. Now for the one card print and play design contest, the card does need to be poker sized. I'm cheating here for the sake of the video so it's easier to see. I blew this up to double its size. So this is a 5x7 instead of 2.5 by 3 inch poker sized card. All right, so the objective of this game is both players are allies engaged in a military exercise. Now the objective is to demonstrate the winning formation with your dice. And so prior to starting the game, the players are going to agree on which formation to pursue for this specific exercises. So there's kind of, actually, let me bring the rules back here to kind of talk about it. There are 3 winning formations that you can go for, and both players would be going for the same formation when you guys decide on that. And the 3 options are, they kind of have interesting names. Diverse Dagger, all 5 of your dice must have different values. Unified Glide, all 5 of your dice must have the same value. And then the Blackjack Blitz, all 5 of your dice must have values that add up to exactly 21. So here in this demo, the players decided on Blackjack Blitz. Now for setup, here let me move the rules to the side. You're going to arrange the card on the table between the players, and each player is going to require 5 dice of one color that's going to differ from the other player. So we've got 5 standard white dice and black dice for the other player. All right. And then each player is going to roll one of their dice as their commander. All right. And now the player with the higher value is going to go first in the game. And if there's a tie, then the players would just keep rolling until somebody rolls a higher value. Each player then places their commander next to the card, kind of as I've already shown here. Now, these dice are not going to be altered during the game anymore, but they do count toward the winning formation. So you are going to be referencing them constantly during the game. Then the first player is going to roll their other 4 dice as their troops. Okay. And then they're going to play them on their star spaces on their side of the board. And then the second player would do the same. Okay. And that's it for setup. These dice aren't going to be rolled anymore during the game, but we are going to be manipulating our troops. All right, so that's it for setup. So now let's talk about gameplay. So starting with the first player, which in this case is going to be the black player, the players would alternate taking turns. Now on your turn, you must move one of your troops, and you can choose from 3 possible maneuvers. First maneuver is simply turning a troop 90 degrees. Okay, so I'll turn that back. But yeah, you can turn a troop 90 degrees. Making sure that the top face is the same while you rotate the side faces 90 degrees. So that's the turn maneuver. Next maneuver is flip to a certain direction. You're going to rotate a troop 90 degrees over its bottom edge onto an adjacent empty space. Diagonals don't count, just these spaces. So if I were right here, I could roll that right there over the bottom edge. I can go sideways later on. Now I can't go backward on my side of the board, but let's say I was here. I could go backward as long as the empty space is on the opponent's side of the board. But otherwise, yeah, you're free to go sideways and forward. Okay, sorry, I don't remember what that originally was. All right, and then the last maneuver is similar to a flip, but it's a flipping jump. So let's say that it wouldn't matter here. I'll take either one of these. So let's say that I were here. It doesn't matter what the troop is. If there's an empty space on the other side of an adjacent troop, I'm going to do the flip, but then I'm going to land in that empty space and jump over that adjacent troop. So I could do that, or I could do a flipping jump, a sideways flipping jump. So I've got a couple options there. And that's really it for the 3 main maneuvers. I already talked about that you can only move backward when you're moving into empty spaces on the opponent's side of the board. Now, something to note, once you've moved a troop and taken your hand off of it, your turn's immediately over. So you can't go back and undo a maneuver. So if you did that and you're like, oh, shoot, took your hand off, that's over. Now, something you can do, though, if you were just picking up your, whoops, that's bad. If you're just picking up your troop to inspect it, maybe you're like, oh, shoot, what am I trying to go for? I'm trying to get to this. As long as you return it to the same space, the same position, and the same orientation, you can do that on your turn and inspect them. But as soon as you do a maneuver like this and take your hand off, your turn would be over. All right, and then, so something to note. How do your troops, how are they in formation, and how does that count to winning the game? So troops only count toward the winning formation, which we're playing. Let's say we agreed on unified glide, where all 5 dice need to be the same. So basically, they all need to be ones because I can't alter the commander. They only count toward the winning formation while they're positioned on star spaces on the opponent's side of the board. All right. So now the first player to successfully achieve that winning formation will win the game. There is one last note. This is to avoid turtling or like staying on the star spaces. If any of your troops are on one of your star spaces if all of the opponent's troops were like this and I had all my guys and I was just turtling here, it's an immediate surrender and you instantly lose the game. So you're going to want to get your pieces off those star spaces at some point before. So if your opponent had 3 over here and you had that last holdout, you're going to want to move that. Whoops, I would have to do a flip. You'd want to do that before they get over there. Okay? All right. Okay. So yeah, what a winning condition, in this case a unified glide, would look like is, imagine like what they're going for 6s. They had a couple, over here. Okay. It's my turn. I'm right here. Boom. All 4 of my troops are on the star spaces on my opponent's side. They're all in formation. They all match my commander. And so now I have the unified glide and I have a winning formation. I win the game. So that's how you play Foxtrot. It's a fun little abstract dice game. I probably will make more maps later on, maybe have some other rules like obstacles that you have to go over. There may be variants where you can only hop over if the side you flip to is greater than that side. I thought about putting maybe some obstacles or something right here diagonally that you have to always do a flipping jump over them, stuff like that. So be on the lookout for some new variants, maybe some new maps, or some tweaked rules based on feedback. All right, thanks for your time, and I'll see you out there.